Hello, welcome to Levant TV Headlines. The Palestine Liberation Organization says it will not be drawn into military action in Syria's Yarmouk camp, rejecting claims that Palestinians would join Syrian troops in driving Islamic State militants from the camp. Lebanese security forces have killed 2 suspected Islamist militants and arrested an extremist cleric during a shootout in the north of the country. The United Nations has called for an immediate humanitarian pause of at least a few hours each day in Yemen to allow desperately needed aid to enter the conflict-ravaged country. And Pakistan's parliament has urged the government to stay out of the conflict in Yemen, turning down long-standing ally Saudi's request for troops, ships and warplanes. And a head-on collision in Morocco between a truck and bus carrying athletes has killed at least 31 people and left 9 injured. Now let's have a look at top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent leading reporting that the Grand Sheikh of Al-Azhar, Ahmed al-Tayyib, the Islamic concept of jihad has been misused for the alleged goal of establishing an Islamic caliphate. While the concept is not meant to impose Islam on others, the paper also reports that an Egyptian court has sentenced a former provincial governor to 4 years in jail for violating a law used to jail hundreds of Islamist and secular activists in the last 18 months. From Beirut, the Daily Star leads reporting that the police has shot dead notorious Islamist militant Osama Mansour and one of his partners in the northern city of Tripoli on Thursday night during an operation to arrest a radical cleric. The paper also reports that an Ethiopian maid was in critical condition after she allegedly threw herself from the 4th story balcony of her Mount Lebanon employer's home in an apparent suicide attempt. From the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that Washington has warned it would not stand by while Tehran supports rebels in Yemen. As Iran's supreme leader denounced Saudi-led airstrikes as criminal acts, the paper also reports that it's only 2020 days to the opening of Expo 2020 Dubai. Now let's have a look at the top Middle East headlines from papers here in London. In The Guardian, a report on people displaced by the civil war in Yemen, who are taking speedboats and ferries across the Gulf of Aden to reach neighboring African countries where refugee camps are already stretched thin, raising fears that prolonged fighting could strain humanitarian resources. The Independent leads its Middle East news reporting that Yazidi women released by ISIS this week were gang-raped in public by fighters and tortured by their captors, according to distressing accounts of their ordeals. More than 200 were released by fighters in Himera, near Kirkuk, earlier this week and have told harrowing tales of the physical and sexual abuse they suffered at the hands of their captors. Also from London, The Telegraph leads Middle East news section reporting that Palestinian police have confiscated a bombed-out doorway bearing a Banksy painting from a Gaza graffiti artist after the original owner complained of being swindled into settling it too cheaply. The artist Bilal Khalid had paid 700 shekels, £120 for the image of a goddess holding her head in her hand, which had been spray-painted on Rabia Darduna's iron and brick doorway as it stood among the ruins of his home destroyed in the July-August war with Israel. Now let's have a look at international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle reports that Iran's leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says that military intervention by its main regional rival Saudi Arabia against Shiite rebels in Yemen amounted to genocide. Khamenei said in a statement on his official website, "This is a crime and genocide that can be prosecuted in international courts. Riyadh will not emerge victorious in its aggression." And finally, China's Global Times reports that the Egyptian authorities have evacuated 1,150 citizens since the Yemeni crisis surged a couple of weeks ago. Egyptian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Badr Abdelati said that some of the evacuated citizens crossed Al-Khadra and Al-Wadia Yemeni-Saudi border crossings, while others were evacuated through adjacent Oman and nearby Djibouti. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching and bye for now.